The Clockmaker's Gift. In the heart of an old mountain village stood a tiny wooden shop with a faded sign that read, "Time mended here." The shop belonged to a man named Leo, known to all as the Clockmaker. He was quiet, kind, and always smelled faintly of cedar and cinnamon. Inside his shop were hundreds of clocks, tall ones, tiny ones, cuckoo clocks, sundials, pocket watches, and music boxes that played soft lullabies. But these weren't ordinary clocks. They didn't just tell time, they healed time. People came from near and far, not only with broken clocks but with heavy hearts. And Leo, with gentle hands and patient eyes, would listen to their stories as he worked. One morning, a woman named Anya entered the shop with a clock that hadn't ticked in years. "It belonged to my mother," she said, voice trembling. "She gave it to me the day before she passed. But after that, it stopped." Leo nodded and took the clock in his hands. He didn't ask many questions, only smiled and said, "Sometimes time needs a reason to begin again." He set the clock on his workbench, opened it carefully, and began to hum a soft tune as he worked. He didn't just fix its gears, he polished its frame, cleaned its glass, and added a tiny gold heart hidden inside the back panel. When he handed it back to Anya, the clock ticked gently once more. That night, for the first time in years, Anya dreamed of her mother, not with sadness, but with peace. Another day, a little boy named Nico brought in a broken toy watch. He said nothing, only held it out with wide, silent eyes. Leo knelt down, took the toy, and whispered, "You've been so brave, haven't you?" Nico nodded, "Just once." Leo fixed the watch in 10 minutes. But when he gave it back, he had added a quiet chime, so every hour, it would ring softly like laughter on the wind. Nico smiled. A real, bright smile. And from that day, he wore the watch every day. People never quite understood how Leo's clocks worked so well. Some said he was a wizard. Others said the clocks were enchanted. But those who truly knew believed something simpler. Leo listened. He listened not only to broken timepieces, but to the time people carried inside them, the moments that hurt, the memories they missed, the dreams they thought were lost. And in his quiet way, he gave them back something precious, a little piece of time that felt whole again. Years later, when Leo grew very old, he wrote a letter and placed it beneath the largest grandfather clock in his shop. Then one night, just before the stars appeared, he locked the door for the last time. The villagers found the letter the next morning. It read, "Time cannot be kept. It must be shared. If you're reading this, it's your turn now. Mend time with kindness. And always, always listen." Nobody ever saw Leo again, but the shop reopened weeks later. This time, a young girl named Mira, one of the many children Leo had once told stories to, stood behind the counter, wearing a dusty apron and a soft smile. And outside, the old sign still swung in the breeze. "Time mended here."